What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 28th of February, 2021. Already 2 months into this year, another week of madness. I hope everybody had a good week. I got tons of news to give you. Let's just jump into it. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all of this stuff. Montreal has 22 variant outbreaks, mostly at schools and daycares. 10% of all cases are variants. Variants all over the place. They're going to kill everybody. Italy says dozens of teachers sick after receiving coronavirus vaccine. That can't be right. That's got to be a conspiracy theory. UK speeds up vaccinations. Says all adults will get the first jab by July 31st. Okay, prisoners in Massachusetts back here in the United States are getting their COVID vaccines and reduced sentences. Wow. Now, that's genius, New World Order. Hey, we'll let you out of prison if you just take the vaccine. I'm not making this shit up. Zero Hedge pushes it out. Japan appoints Minister of Loneliness after disturbing rise in social distancing era suicides. Hard times for a lot of people, no doubt. Fauci says possible Americans will be wearing masks in 2022 to protect against blah, 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 blah. Who put this asshole in charge of anything? Dr. Fauci says vaccinated people can't dine indoors or go to the movies. We got to fill you up with poison, but you still can't get to leading your normal lives. I'll put a link to this madness. Fears of brain swelling virus with 75% death rate may become the next pandemic. Be advised, that from MSN. And we got the latest viral threat. Bubonic plague emerges in the Congo. That came out on February 20 from Zero Hedge. I got a few more here. Did Joe Biden drop the N-word this week? I'm not going to play it. I'll put a link to it. You can decide for yourself. The Epoch Times says Supreme Court dismisses slew of 2020 presidential election lawsuits, yet there's still people out there who believe irrefutable proof is coming soon. We are not done. Sydney's Powell responses Supreme. I mean, these people that want to hold on to hope, you can have all the proof in the world. Listen, the whole country knows what happened. Nobody has the balls to do anything about it. I mean, I don't mean to sound discouraging, but all these people talking about, we got the proof, and we got the proof. It's a big bucket of so what? What are you going to do with it? We all watched what happened. I believe you. Anyway, over to financial news. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on Friday. I think the Dow took a dive on Friday. Fell 469. Let's see, for the week, the Dow was down 561, but still above 30,000. 932 is where it closed. Bill Gates, he's got his hand in everything. Creepy Bill Gates announces he's not a fan of Bitcoin, warns people who aren't rich as Elon Musk from stop buying it. The U.S. will print another $7 trillion in the next 24 months. That's from Zero Hedge. Up and away. Nobody's going to pay for it anyway. Federal government investigating massive outage in its interbank payment system. What happened? There was some more other internet outages this week. There's a lot of strange stuff going on. Federal government extending Canadians access to pandemic benefits. And I see last night the House passed in the middle of the night. It's still got to get some hurdles, but the House passed another trillions of dollars of COVID spending bill. It probably has all kinds of little, I don't have a link on that, but it's going to have all those little sneaky stuff they put in there, stuff that has nothing to do with anything. Anyway, I'll put a link to this. We got Fox 2 local now from St. Louis, Missouri. Senate okays bill to limit COVID-19 loss. Of course, you get sick. If a hospital does something, you take a vaccine, anything happens, you can't sue anybody. I'm sorry about your luck. You're just going to be disabled. Reparations for slavery could have mitigated U.S. COVID infections. HMS study finds. What? I'll put a link to that. U.S. Supreme Court sets stage for the release of Donald Trump's tax returns. Another so what? You know what you're going to find? The man probably didn't pay any taxes. And you know what else you're going to find? It's completely legal. Boss fires his employees who voted for Biden, raises one guy's rent. I'm not quite sure you can get away with that. You might get sued. Just in, Dominion Voting Systems files $1.3 billion lawsuit against Mike Lindell, MyPillow, for defamation. But Mike Lindell comes back and says, I'm starting my new MyPillow voting machine. You get a free pillow. Put a link to that. And I got one more follow-up from the storms from last week. Texas utilities cannot stick customers with huge bills after the storm, says the governor. Nor should they be able to. I mean, people are freezing to death and then they get a bill in the mail. You owe us $5 million. Anyway, over to New World Order and Police State News. This is where I stop and ask you to share this video. Important stuff coming up. The New York Times warns readers against critical thinking. You better not be thinking about yourself. You gotta believe what we tell you. Security goons at tire store brutally take down and assault a man for not wearing a mask. Those goons watch the news and they believe it all. Put a link to that. Amazon quietly ends sales of books it labels hate speech. Of course, you can't believe that stuff. You can't read that stuff. Boy, we're riding dangerous lines here. Police outside a store in the UK says being offensive is offensive. You better watch what you say. Put a link to that. Let's see. Ex-Clinton advisor. I did not know Naomi Wolf was an ex-Clinton advisor. That's news to me. I love her, though. Naomi Wolf warns we are becoming a totalitarian state before our eyes under Biden. No crap, right? Put a link to that. Blacklist site asks people to report everyone who voted for Trump to unmask them. I mean, the Gestapo. I mean, you just see what's happening? Ashley Babbitt, she was a Trump supporter, laid to rest in the Pacific Ocean by family and friends. Rest in peace. Put a link to that. Microsoft and friends want to destroy online privacy. They want to be able to say that everything ever posted on the internet can be traced back to its original. I'll put a link. I'm telling you, you're going to need a government ID to access the internet pretty soon, but I've been saying this for years. Rochester police officers won't face charges in Daniel Prude's death. That's the guy that they put a bag over his head and suffocated him to death in the middle of winter. People were in the streets protesting about that. Police say charge dropped against 18. Oh, you want to see some bullshit? Pull this up and check it out. This guy was just walking home from work in the snow. They're saying, well, he got a report that the man was walking in the streets. Well, all the sidewalks are covered with ice. Call to action. Legislature voted to allow non-citizens to be police. That sounds like a great idea. And one more, EU leaders agree on introduction of vaccine passports by the summer of 2021. What did we say? I'm telling you right now, by the time all this wraps up, you're going to need a vaccine identification card to do anything. Anything. They're doing it in little increments. Now it's the passports, then it'll be the grocery stores, and then it'll be the schools, and it'll be, they just bring it in, and then before you know it, you're locked down. Over to World War III news. U.S. launches airstrikes against Iranian-backed forces in Syria. Operation Blackjack alert on that one. Iran tells Biden U.S. must pay $1 trillion in reparations for damage from Trump sanctions. What about the billions of dollars that Obama flew into the country on his way out? Iran. Put a link to that. Tech firms say there's little doubt Russia's behind a major hack. A lot of hacking going on. Put a link to that. Large Russian warship sails close to Norway's border and move not seen since post-Soviet times. Put a link to that. China news. Biden's China chief said she was fine with the CCP spreading influence in America and pre-briefed communists ahead of a major summit. Put a link to that. No surprise there. China this is awesome, gave U.S. diplomats anal COVID tests in error. Sorry about that, America. Put a link to that. U.S. says Saudi Crown Prince approved the killing, imposes visa restrictions on 76 Saudis. That was big news this week. Got a couple more here. Twitter says it purged dozens of accounts for undermining faith in NATO. We got censorship in the World War III bin this week. It's all coming together. Explosion hits Israeli-owned cargo ship in Gulf of Oman. That might be retaliation for what we did to Iran. Let's see. Russian diplomats push rail trolley across border to leave North Korea. Leaving in style. A couple more here. Navy will make sailors reaffirm oath to the Constitution and extremism stand down. Oh, what? I'll put a link to this. In my opinion, if military people were upholding their oath to the Constitution, none of this bullshit would be happening. And I got one more at the bottom. Dozens of House Democrats ask Biden to relinquish sole authority to launch nukes. I agree. But then again, the crazy old bat doesn't have any authority anyway. He's going to do whatever he's told. Anyway, over to Earth Changes in 2012 news. I had to pick 2 weeks out. 6.0, 2 weeks out. There was a 6.2 on the 16th, 17th, 18th. I guess there hasn't been. Looks like on the 22nd there was a 4.8. Let me see. Past week, there's been no 6 points and aboves. I don't know what's going on there. Put a link to that. Volcano news. Volcano ending in an erupting volcano. I thought this was really cool. What caused phenomenon in Hawaii Park. Put a link to that from Sacramento Bee. Family of boy who died during winter storm suing the electric company for $100 million. I mean, good luck. I don't know that you're going to win anything because it's your responsibility to be prepared. It absolutely sucks that that little kid died. But be prepared, people. Let's see. When a busy H-E-B lost power, store and Texans gathering supplies to go ahead without paying. Yeah, everybody was in line and the power went out and the store owners just said take everything anyway. That was pretty cool. I wanted to throw that in there. Fireball spotted over the, where is this at? I think this is out of Italy somewhere, or India. Big fireball going across the sky this week. Binary stars all around us. New map of solar neighborhood shows. Be advised. Suns everywhere. Indonesian fisherman finds baby shark with human face. What the hell is that? Can you imagine? FBI is aware of American Airlines flight close encounter with fast-moving celestial object over New Mexico at 36,000 feet. What was it, a UFO? Maybe it was the Mars rover. Mars has chemtrails. Amazing. Did you see the new Mars rover? Check out the pictures from it. There seems to be chemtrails in the sky. I wonder what is this, out in the Nevada desert somewhere? Give me a break. And I got one more. Speaking of space, give your regards to your puppet master, Elon Musk, to Washington Post reporter. I thought that was awesome. Over to strange and bizarre news. Strap in. Got some strange news this week. Joe Biden holds presser on COVID vaccine. Only 669 people watching, but this guy got 81 million votes. Go figure. Put a link to that. What's up with that? Capitol Police Chief warns extremists want to blow up the Capitol when Biden... I guess we're not going to have a State of the Union this year. Isn't it kind of weird that we haven't had that yet? Anyway, they want to blow up the mansion, they're saying. California School Board Treasury calls return to in-person learning, white supremacist ideology and slavery. What? Put a link to that. Back to school. Check it out. Pandemic continues. These kids are playing band in their own little, plastic boxes. Isn't that cute? Put a link. This is just, I can't believe. Anyway, oh my God, this Karen. Okay, these guys tried to warn this lady that she had a gas pump hanging out the back of her car. You guys are creepy. You're following me. You're creeping me out. I'm calling the police. Watch this.
There's literally a gas hose hanging out of your car. No,
oh my God, are you serious?
No, thank you.
Mine. Thank you. Over in London, there's a naked man running down the street. What is this? Run! Ah! Put a link to that. A Mr. No More. Now, this story pissed me off this week. Mr. Potato Head goes gender neutral. He's no longer Mr. Potato Head. They have chopped off his penis. He is now just Potato Head. Put a link to that. California bill would give $1,000 fines to retailers with separate girls and boys toy sections. What the hell's happening here? I'll put a link to that from Reason. Chief of Cherokee Nation says it's time for Jeep to stop using its name. How? Put a link to that. Car and driver. Speaking of cars, Big Booty Babe gets nailed by car doing donuts, but she's got plenty of push. Woo! Boom! It's okay. She gets up and says, I'm all right. Oklahoma football player picked a fight with the wrong guy. Turned out to be an MMA fighter. Oop, got his ass kicked, did he? 3 killed. Speaking of someone else who got their ass kicked, 3 killed after man opens fire in gun store in New Orleans. Gets neutralized by other customers. Not a good idea. That's all the news I got for this week. For more news, check out my favorites. All kinds of fresh stuff going on over here. I mean, just read the titles. There's all kinds of madness going on here. And I got a shout out this week. Shout out to my good friend Fringe Recall. He's putting together a really simple site where you can go and just listen to podcasts on, if you're just looking for something to play in the background, you just want something to listen to. He's got this site he's going to be building, SHTFWROL, the podcast section. A couple pages here, the Jericho report over there. Hey, Fringe, I love you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. So check out that link if you guys are looking for a quick and easy podcast link to listen to the latest on topics that you care about. Check them out. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst of YouTube, you never want to see it again, please rate, though. It helps it move around. I do appreciate it. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, BitChute. All my links are always at the bottom. You can support me on Patreon or directly with PayPal. I put a lot into these reports. This week is just total madness. What's coming up in the next week, I don't know. Are we going to have a State of the Union address? What are your guesses? We're going into March now. COVID checks coming, another round of that. Of course, trillions of dollars being spent on stuff that doesn't matter, but you know what else is new? It's like Goodfellas. Charge it up, we're going to burn it out, and nobody's going to pay for it anyway. The Great Reset and all that stuff. That's what we got to look forward to. Maybe this year, maybe next year, but definitely the reset coming. You guys take care, stay safe for now. Remain vigilant, be ready for anything at any time. I will see you on the next one.